はい、皆様こんばんは、宮山でございます。久しぶりのドラゴンエイジインクイジション実況を、やっていきたいと思います。今回はですね、間違えた、すいません。クエストマップじゃなくて、ジャーナルを見るとですね、メインクエストがこの審問官の道っていうやつなんですけども、前回グレイボーデンの話が確か終わって、この、高慢がもたらしたもの、ここからなんですけど、これ作戦室に入ると、もうイベントが始まっちゃうので、まず最初にこれを見て、それから、久しぶりに、審問会の、いつもの仲間たちとちょっと久しぶりに会話をして、会話イベント多分ね、しばらくメインクエストが、いくつかクリアしているので、新たな会話イベントがあると思いますので、それちょっと見て、で、どれだったっけな、これか。平原の沈黙っていうやつ。戦略テーブルへ向かって、有徳の平原を調査せよっていう。これをちょっとやっていこうかなと思います。で、時間があれば、ウェスタンアプローチの、デビンターの異物捜索と、グリフォンウィングの要塞への襲撃。この辺りをやっていこうかなと。で、次の回に、メインクエスト、コーマンがもたらしたものを本格的に進めていこうかなと思います。メインクエストね、あとね、多分、2つ、あって3つ、2つ、これの次で終わりだったんじゃないかなと思うんですよね。うん。私の曖昧な記憶によると。ので、ちょっと周りしっかりいろいろ終わらせてから、最後まで行きたいなと思っております。では、作戦会議を招集すると。いつもならな、入って、何するか選ぶんですけど、今回は入るだけでもイベントが進んでしまいます。
It's time to plan our next attack. What's the state of the Inquisition?
We're well loved in Orlais. Say the words and Empress Celine will send her support.
And your actions at Adamant denied Corypheus his army of pet demons. With Orlay's support, our numbers match his. Corypheus's followers must be panicking.
My agents agree. Our victories have shaken his disciples.
無難とっていき
We've
ましょう。
beaten their god twice over. Corypheus must be livid. Where is he now?
After Adamant, Corypheus uprooted his major strongholds and sent them marching south to the Arbor Wilds. His army clearly wasn't prepared to flee. Our victories have them on the defensive.
これ
Good of Corypheus to make it easy to find him. If he's hiding in the Arbor Wilds, that's where we finish him.
But what is Corypheus doing in such a remote area?
His people have been ransacking elven ruins since Haven. We believe he seeks more. What he hopes to find, however, continues to elude us.
Which should surprise no one.
お、出てきた。
Fortunately, I can assist.
You have my attention, Lady Morrigan.
モーリガンね。
What Corypheus seeks in those forgotten woods is as ancient as it is dangerous.
Which is?
'Tis best if I show you.
あら、これこのままそのままクエストが始まっちゃうかな。
This is an illuvian, an elven artifact from a time long before their empire was lost to human greed. I restored this one at great cost, but another lies within the Arbor Wilds. That is what Corypheus seeks.
This belonged to my people.
I found legends of an elven temple within the Arbor Wilds. Untouched. It proved too dangerous to approach, and thus I turned elsewhere to find my prize. If Corypheus has turned southward, he could succeed where I failed. The Illuvian would be his.
What does it do?
A more appropriate question would be, where does it lead?
思わぬ感じで、まあ、始まっちゃいましたね。でもまあ味方連れてってないから、会話だけのイベントだったんですかね。まあまあ、最初に話した予定とはいきなり違いますが、とりあえず行っちゃいましょう。エルフの遺物ってことでしたね。うん。さて、どこに繋がってるというのでしょうか。モリガンさんはね、ドラゴンエイジの一作目に出てきた魔女ですね。
If this place once had a name, it has long been lost.
はあ、
I
なん
call
と
it
も不思議なとこですね。
Crossroads, a place where all Illuvians join, wherever they might be.
どういうもんなんでしょう。
Is this place dangerous? It feels...
Unnatural, yes. We are, however, in no immediate peril. The ancient elves left no roads, only ruins hidden in far-flung corners. This is how they traveled between them. As you can see, most of the mirrors are dark, broken, corrupted, or unusable. As for the rest, a few can be opened from this side, but only a few.
How did you find out about this place?
My travels have led me to many strange destinations, Inquisitor. Once, they led me here. It offered sanctuary.
Sanctuary?
Not all the mirrors lead back to our world. The ancients were nothing if not resourceful.
If they don't lead back to our world, then...
Places between, like this one. I can describe it no better. For a time, I was safe from those who hunted me, but only for a time. One cannot remain in between forever.
What do you mean, a few can be opened from this side?
Some of the Illuvians have been left unlocked, like doors accidentally left ajar. All others are closed. They can be opened only from beyond.
Opened how?
With a key.
I suppose you have such a key.
The key can be many things. Each Illuvian is different. I have knowledge as well as power. Often that is enough.
Corypheus wants to come here.
This is not the Fade, but it is very close. Someone with enough power could tear down the ancient barriers.
And enter the Fade in the flesh, like Corypheus wanted to do with the Anchor.
He learned of the Illuvian in the Arbor Wilds as I did. He marshals the last of his forces to reach it. You have made Corypheus desperate, Inquisitor. We must work together to stop him, and soon.
ほう。いや、結局今のだとただの便利な移動装置ぐらいの認識しかできないんですけど。コリフィアスがここに来て何をするつもりなんですかね。どうやばいんですかね。いまいちそれが分かってないんですが。話の途中でね、いかんせんまた鏡をくぐってしまったので、戻ってきちゃった？終わったの？あ、鏡元に戻ってる。モリガンは？作戦室に戻り作戦計画を確認せよ。戻りますか、じゃあ。ここどこね？こっち ちかな。あれ、中庭みたいなとこですよね、確かね。こんなとこでも読み物が。はは。はあ。いや、このゲームほんとね、めちゃめちゃ読み物多いんですよね。それは今はともかく。あ、ここね。はいはい。だいぶあれですね。ここにも、このご婦人とか、貴族っぽい人が、出入りするようになったんですね。予定の話がやっぱうまくいったからですかね。さて、じゃあもう一回、作戦会議の方に戻ってみましょう。またモリガンさんもきっと参加するんですかね。ああ、いる。今回最初からいる。諮問会のパークあるんだ。じゃあなんかあれかな。経験値か。経験値ちょっと欲しい気もするけど。あ、でもこれ割といいな。はい。さっきのコリフィアスの話は村長のやつね。地底回廊じゃなくって、ちょっと待ったって。終わり。
I have something for you, Commander. The soldiers the Herald rescued from the Fallermire arrived an hour ago.
これね。消費勢力40。40。なるほど。これがやるともう本当に始まっちゃうわけですね。そっかそっか。そしたら、なんだっけ。密偵を救出せよ。さっき言ってた有徳の平原のやつがやりたいんですが、兵の転身とか密偵のための抜け道、これでもない。ユリアナしかできないやつが多いな。ちょっと待ってくださいな。なんかない気が。方位の辺で、からのなんか指示。
Let's see what we have.
つかせておく。
All right.
なんかやっぱない気が。終わったやつね。橋修復するやつ。 も終わったやつね。ダークスポーンからガモルドを保護。素材とかじゃなくて、なんかないですよね。この辺とかでもないでしょ。まあちょっとあんまりここでグダグダしてもしょうがないんで、あれこれもうやっちゃった？
Inquisitor?
これだけ出して、で、諮問会の面々とちょっと、お話ししに行って、最後に、あれかな、ウエスタンアプローチの方にちょっと行くようにしましょうか。まずは、ジョゼフィーヌと話しましょうかね。
Inquisitor, I must speak with you.
What is it?
I must explain something first about the Montiliers' fortunes. My family made their fortune as traders in Antiva until a scandal exiled us from Orlais some ages ago. It devastated our finances. The Montiliers have, in fact, been in debt for over 100 years.
はあ。
I had no idea your family's situation was so precarious.
Hardly anyone outside the family does. For generations, we've done everything to keep creditors at bay. Sold our lands to stave off interest. It's just... it is infuriating to see my family still reduced to this. I'm to become head of our house. If I sell any more of our land, my family will become destitute. That cannot be my legacy to them.
Is there anything I can do?
I'd almost solved our problems. For a while. I negotiated a chance to reinstate the Montiliers as landed traders in Orlais. We could rebuild with that. But when I dispatched paperwork to Val Royeaux... I've just learned my carriers were murdered. And the documents restoring my family's trading status destroyed.
Do you have any idea who murdered them?
Leliana made inquiries that bore success. Comte Boisvert, a nobleman in Val Royeaux, claims to know who killed my messengers. He has a request that you come when I meet him, so he's seen publicly conferring with you.
If that's what it takes to get to the bottom of this, I'll meet this Comte with you.
Thank you, Inquisitor. It means... you are too kind. I must know who killed my couriers just to harm my family.
ほう。ほう。ちょっとお話ししようと思っただけだったんですが、あれですね。クエストが始まっちゃいましたね。バルロイオに久しぶりに行きましょうか、じゃあ。ここか。あ、一応メンツ連れてかなきゃいかん。そりゃそうだわな。カサンドラさん。最近はビビエンヌ連れてたんでしたっけね。アイアンブルとか一回も出したことないですよね。コールとかね。まあまあ、いつものメンツでいきましょう。もう3周目なんですけどね。そんなに使う人は変わらない。まあ、それでも、ビビエンヌは最初は使わなかったかな。で1周目は、セラをそもそも仲間に私しないままクリアしちゃったんで、だから2周目からのお気に入りですね、セラはね。バリック使ってました、その代わりにだから。 アイアンブルとかはどうだったかな？ 2 周目は使ったかな？なんだ、クエスト持ってるやついるな。あれ、いなくなった。今ここになんかびっくりマークありましたよね。この矢印の方向に。まあいいけど。上？このテラスみたいなとこ？あれ？あ、いた、ジョゼフィーヌ。
Do you know where this noble wanted to meet us?
I do. The Comte Boisvert invited us to his mansion, not far from here. I pray he clears up the deaths of my messengers, as promised.
行きましょう。
Lead the way.
このクエスト私初めてかもしれないですね。どんだけこのゲームはボリュームがあるんでしょうか。一通り遊ぶだけでも多分100時間とかそういう次元になるような気がしますけどね。もちろん攻略サイトを見ながら違うわ、容量よく回ればもっと短くなるんでしょうけど、ちょっともったいない気もしますね、それは。
Welcome, my friend.
Thank you for seeing us, Comte Boisvert.
The honor is mine. Please, sit. It's an honor to assist two such distinguished guests.
と
We appreciate your help, Comte.
The death of Lady Montily's servants must weigh heavily on you. Have you heard of the House of Repose?
The Assassin's League?
My contacts obtained a copy of a document in the archive. Contract for a life.
The House of Repose is hereby sworn to eliminate anyone attempting to overturn the Montiliers' trading exile in Orlais.
Who's sending these assassins?
The contract was signed by a noble family. The Du Paraquets.
But the Du Paraquets died out as a noble line over 60 years ago.
Indeed. But the contract was signed 109 years ago.
は？
How can a family try to kill you after they died out?
The Du Paraquets were our rivals. They drove the Montiliers from Val Royal. This contract was drawn up over 100 years ago, but it wasn't invoked until I tried to overturn my family's exile.
Unpleasant though it may be, the House of Repose is merely fulfilling its contractual duties.
If the people who wanted your family dead are gone, why are the assassins still after you?
A contract is a contract, Inquisitor. Ordination businesses live and die by their
コントラクト
reputation.
です、コントラクト。
The entire guild's welfare would be endangered if an agreement was tossed aside on a whim of time or fate.
She's quite right, Your Worship. The House of Repose is doing what it feels necessary, by its standards.
I assume you have a thought or two on this, Josephine?
The Du Paraquets still have descendants under the common branch. If we elevate them to nobility, a Du Paraquet could annul the contract on my life.
That will take time, Lady Montilier. Time during which the House of Repose will be obliged to hunt you.
Will they now? You are exceedingly well informed. You're not to have said you'd heard rumors, at best.
A bit of subterfuge. This contract on your life is an ugly business. One the House of Repose deeply regrets. But this is Orlais. Even an assassin's word is his bond.
Does Comte Boisvert actually exist?
Absolutely. The Comte's offer to reveal the killers of Lady Montilier's messengers was genuine. So was his information somehow. An end to be tied up later.
I'm guessing the actual Comte Boisvert met with a fatal accident.
Comte Boisvert slumbers in a nearby closet. Nothing more. The contract on Lady Montilier's life is so unusual, we felt the courtesy of an explanation was in order.
It is appreciated, monsieur.
Your idea to seek out the Duparequet to revoke our orders is an interesting one. I wish you luck. I did not come to shed blood today, Inquisitor. Only to speak. Might I pass?
いや、ここで始末した方が手っ取り早いような気がするんですけどね。まあ一応これ聞い
Why
て。
warn us about your contract and let us go?
In Orlais, it is only decent to inform those involved in a contract when extraordinary circumstances conspire.
And the guild's reputation would suffer if you ignored the contract. I quite understand.
Thank you, my lady. May we conclude with my departure?
ジョセフィーヌになんかあったら嫌なんだけどな。人気図で生かしていいものか。とりあえず、しょうがないのか
Go
な。
then.
Good day, your worship. My lady, I pray we never meet again.
ジョゼフィーヌの顔ぶりからするとね、ここでことを起こすのは良くない雰囲気でしたよね。大丈夫？
Well, I didn't think our meeting would end like this.
We'll deal with these assassins.
I have some thoughts. Let's discuss them back at Skyhold. I'll feel safer with the castle's walls around me.
あ、ちょっと待ってくださいな。レベルが上がってる子がいるので、オートレベルアップを適用しておきましょう。17なんですね。スカイホールドに戻れって言われたので、戻りましょう。どこだ？あれ？インターランドじゃなくてさ。この後、どうするんでしょうね。ジョゼフィーヌがおとりになって襲撃したところをやっつけるとか、そんな感じなんですかね。失われたね、貴族の分家を復活させるっていうのはちょっと時間が、足りない感じでしたよね。その間に襲われちゃったら意味がないから。まあ、スカイホールドにジョゼフィーヌはほとんどずっと、まあでもそうだよな。交渉で多分あちこち出かけてますもんね。レリアナがいるとはいえ、多分レリアナの仕事はてんこ盛りでしょうからね。護衛がうまくつかない時もあるでしょう。
I'm so sorry, Inquisitor. I never thought my family's trading status would trap us in an assassin's plot.
You couldn't have known it would lead to this House of Repose coming after you.
It still shouldn't have slipped past me. I've tracked down the last two paraquets. If they become gentry, they can annul the contract on my life. We'll require a noble from Val Royaux to sponsor them, a judge to provide documents, a minister to ratify them.
It's so like you to take the longest course of action, even when your life is at stake.
I assume you already know everything about this mess.
There is a faster way, Josephine. The original contract on your life is in the vaults of the House of Repose. If my agents infiltrate it and destroy the original, the assassin will have no obligation to chase you.
Liliana, please. I want no more bloodshed over a personal affair.
Don't be so stubborn, Josie. How long will it take you to gather these favors in Val Royaux?
いやー、ここはレリアナさん
If
の意見
destroying
に
the
賛成
original
かな。
contract will satisfy the guild, I say we do it.
But I'm sure my plan will work, Inquisitor.
Whatever happens, I'll assign you more guards. The House of Repose won't be idle long.
I appreciate it, but I still believe elevating the Duparequets will solve this. First, we need to perform some favors in Barroyo. I'd be happy to discuss where we could begin.
レリアナのアサシンを送り込め。 れ平原の、ちょっと待って。オプション、レリアナのアサシンを送り込めか。いや、これやりたいけど、どこ特別な品。そうじゃなくてさ。これ何？レリアナのアサシンを送り込みたいけど、レリアナさんと話しに行けばいいのかな？いるかな？ですね。通常だったら、ここの上にいるので、レリアナさんと話せばいいのかな？まあ今日ね、どうせレリアナさんとも話しに行こうとは思ってたんですが、もう一個確かね、上だよね。ドリアンはどうでもよくて、あんまり回すと酔うからね。あれここか？いや、違う、これビビエンヌじゃん。単純にこの上に私は登りたいんだな。あったあったあったあったあった。いるね。
I'm sorry.
So am I.
Inquisitor, I was not expecting a visit. You had little interest in speaking to me privately before. But as dear Josephine says, it's never too late to make a friend.
Right. Especially since we lost so many at Haven.
You noticed my exchange with the commander? The names of those we lost. You must blame me for this.
あんまりね、この人たち優しいこと言ってもね、賛成してくんないんですよね。
I wasn't going to bring it up, but why didn't you see that attack coming?
I didn't know what I was looking for. The Red Templars are like nothing I've seen, and the Venatori hide their tracks well. I keep wondering if I could have done something different. When the first of my lookouts went missing, I pulled the rest back, awaiting more information. If they'd stayed in the field, they could have bought us more time. I was afraid to lose my agents, and instead we lost Haven.
More likely, they would have stayed out there, died, and we would have lost Haven anyway.
You don't know that. Their lives could have bought Haven a small chance. My people know their duty. They know the risks. They understand that the Inquisition may call upon them to give their lives.
True. They're our soldiers. They'll do what we need them to.
If Corypheus is cold, I must be colder. War demands sacrifices of us all.
まあ、いかにもレリアナさんらしいですよね。で、これをさ、レリアナともう一回話したら、
Inquisitor, I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
わかんない。救われたんじゃないか
She
ね。
knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the fate. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her.
そうなんですよね。左手がレリアナさんで、右手がカサンドラさんって話なんですよね。まあなんだろうな、法律で裁けないようなことをするのがレリアナさんで、まああくまでその法律にのっとって物事を解決していくのがカサンドラさんみたいな、そういうイメージなんですよね。
So it's true. Some look to Cassandra or even me as Justinia's successor. I never thought the idea would gain momentum. Of course, with the other candidates out of the picture.
こっちか？
They must be desperate.
It's much less flattering when you put it that way. If only being divine were as simple as looking good in a large hat. Restoring the Chantry will be like trying to steer a sinking vessel through a storm.
Whoever becomes divine will have my support if she requires it.
And I'm sure whoever becomes divine will absolutely require the Inquisition's backing. The Chantry is faltering, but it still has influence over the people. Who tells the people what's right? Who do they look to in times of peril? A divine with enough support can change the Chantry. And with it, Thedas. But this is a discussion for later. If Corypheus wins, finding a new divine will be the least of our problems.
まあ、教会自体はね、古い力の象徴でもあり、また、それでもやっぱり大きな力だってことなんでしょうね。レリアナさんさ、この怪しい雲行きのさ、話ない？
A message from Divine Justinia.
ジャスティニアの話、いや、いい話なんだけど、長いね。ジャスティニアからの手紙？どういうこと？こっちか？
That's a shock. You're right reading it.
Thank you for the concern, Inquisitor. But I am. This message was written months, perhaps even years ago, to be delivered to me if she died. I've heard of such contingency plans. A sudden death often leaves loose ends. I'm to go to Valence, a small village on the waking sea. There is something hidden there.
Why hide things in Valence? What's so special about it?
Justinia was revered mother at the Chantry there for many years before she became the Divine. It is a place that holds great meaning for her.
Do you know what you're looking for?
The Divine was a powerful woman who used her position to obtain all sorts of things. Whatever she hid in Valence would very likely benefit the Inquisition and must be kept from falling into the wrong hands. If I'm lucky, she will have instructions for me.
I'll help in whatever way I can.
Wonderful. I was hoping you would agree to come with me to Valence. One more thing. If what is hidden in Valence is as valuable as I think, we're not going to be the only ones looking for it. I shall meet you at the Chantry in Valence. Try not to delay.
あら、そういうことかな。そういうことかなっていうのはこのミッションが終わらないとこの怪しい雲行きの話が進められない？
Reports of fade rifts and demons keep coming. The people are terrified, and it's only getting worse. The only thing that will calm their fears now is the hope that someone out there can save them. You have to be that someone. No one else has any power over the rifts. Seal them. Your legend will spread, and Thedas will learn to trust the Inquisition.
In Redcliffe, You sacrificed yourself so that I could return here.
Of course I did. One small life in exchange for a second chance at history. I always loved a bargain.
It was still a sacrifice, and still noble.
And I would do it again.
何かあるのかな。
You seem to know a great many people.
I have made friends, and on occasion enemies. It's unavoidable.
What do you know of Morrigan?
I first met her when we were traveling with the hero of Ferelden. We never really got along. Morrigan can be a powerful ally. Just never forget that she's here because she wants something. Work with her, learn from her, trust her if you must, but never underestimate her.
そっか、レリアンさん、私はやってないんですけど、確か、なんだったかな、2のダウンロードコンテンツかなんかで、プレイヤブルキャラで出てきたんじゃなかったかなと思うんですけど。
You have a history with the warden who ended the blight, don't you?
I had the privilege of calling her friend before she died. The world seemed much duller after that. It still does.
You seem to know Josephine quite well.
I met her a long time ago, but we didn't become good friends until years later. After the blight, in fact. I'd just returned to Val Rayo, and she welcomed me back by throwing a diplomatic ball. She was the Antivan ambassador at the time, you see. The ball was... alright. Too many politicians. At midnight, Josie and I left to find a real party. We've been friends ever since.
なるほ
What do you consider a real party?
It's not a real party until someone's small clothes up.
ど。教会の掲示板に。
We can continue this conversation later.
You know where I am.
多分レリアナさんのこのクエストをやらないと進まない状態な気がするので、これだよね、教皇の左手。うん。これに一旦先に行きましょう。もう40分回ってるんですけど、続きが私が単純に、気になるので、ここは行きます。レリアナ、少なくともレリアナさんの話が終わるところまでは行きたい。1時間以上超えるとね、動画上げたりするのがだんだん大変になってくるので、あと、録画の訪れとかも心配になってくるので、あんまり1時間以上は超えたくないんですよね。たまにこういうことはあるんですけど。
It's just as I remember it.
You didn't tell me you'd been here before.
After the blight ended, I came here to see Justinia. She was just Dorothea then, a revered mother. I needed her wisdom after the hero of Ferelden died.
It's peaceful here. You must have good memories of this place.
It was a place of comfort. It is good to see it still untouched by Corypheus.
Liliana, is that you?
Sister Natalie, what are you doing here? I thought you were in Val Rayo.
No, I've been here since Justinia died. This place makes me feel like she's still with us.
Inquisitor, this is Natalie, a trusted friend.
Wait, Inquisitor? You brought the Inquisitor here? My lady, forgive me for not recognizing you earlier.
I wish more people would fail to recognize me.
Oh, I see.
Natalie, listen. There is something hidden here. Something Justinia left for me.
Oh, really? What is it?
I don't know, but we'll find it. I'm curious to see what brought us all here. Justinia's letter came with instructions for me. They were a little cryptic. Always remember that faith sprung from a barren branch, that light has no fear of darkness. Above all, that strength lives in an open heart.
She must be hinting at something in here. Let's look around.
Do they still sing verses from the benedictions every Friday? That canticle was Justinia's favorite.
Yes, of course. We'd never give up the traditions of our most beloved divine.
That is lovely to hear. I stare up at the breach sometimes. It's terrifying, but beautiful in its way.
It is beautiful.
Have you seen it by sunrise?
When the sun rises through it, it splits into what looks like 1,000 suns, like a broken mirror.
Yes, spectacular, isn't it? You must be careful, Natalie. Justinia's enemies are making their move, vying for position and the Sunburst throne.
最初の方にね、レリアナさんがこの抱きついてる肩越しに違うわみたいな顔しましたよね。このナタリーがちょっと怪しいのかな、コリフィアスの手のものなのかな。なんか最後の方にしてた会話も矛盾を引き出そうとしてるような気がしますね。まあそれは、よしとして教皇の左手で手がかり、3つか。そして何より強さは、開かれた心臓に宿るということを、心は闇を恐れないということも、信仰は華麗だから生じるということを忘れないで。どういう意味なんでしょうね。なんかあるな。隠された仕掛け。
I was in a cloister in Lothering when the Blight began. There was a lot of fear back then.
こっちか。
I thought, even in the midst of all this, life finds a way.
まあ謎解きじゃなくて、単純にこの、キンコンカンコンをなんとかするだけですね。キンコンカンコン、キンコンカンコン。あれあったか。
What was that?
Looks like we opened something.
どこが開いたの？あ、これ？なんだこれは。
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Finally. I was getting tired of all these tricks.
They never sing the benedictions here on Friday.
あ、やっぱりそうですよね。引っ掛けですよね。
Something so simple. And you got it so wrong. I wanted to believe, but you were lying from the start. Keep that pretty mouth shut if you must, dear. You've already told me everything I need to know. The prickleweed burrs on your hem, talking about the sun rising through the breach. It all points to a single place. Morel in the Dales, Grand Cleric Victoire's bastion. She sent you, didn't she? Victoire was always an opportunist.
Who is this Grand Cleric? I've never heard of her.
An experienced cleric. She never agreed with Justinia, but kept her ideas to herself. I suppose now, with Justinia dead, she thought she could make her move.
I want to know what this Grand Cleric planned here.
She sent Natalie here to see what Justinia was hiding, no?
The Inquisition has turned Thidas away from the true Chantry. It must be stopped.
Stop us? You must be joking.
Mother Victoire is well loved by many. The Inquisition has more enemies than you know.
And Victoire thinks she can ally with them.
If we let her go, she'll just run off to her cleric, won't she?
Likely.
Kill me then. I am not afraid to die for my beliefs. At least I still know what I believe.
そうはいかんわな。
This has to be done. You know it.
I see what you've become. The righteous stand before the darkness, and the Maker shall guide them.
No! This can't be it. There's nothing here.
It's not what you expected. That doesn't mean it's nothing.
There's a message carved in the lid. The left hand should lay down her burden. She's releasing me. The divine has a long reach, but it is always her left hand that stretches out. 1,000 lies, 1,000 deaths. Her commands, but my conscience that bore the consequences.
She apologized in the Fade. She said she failed you. This is what she meant.
All this time, Justinia carried the fear that she was using me, just like I'd been used in the past. But Marjolaine's games were trifles. Justinia gambled with the fate of nations. She needed me. No one else could have done what I did. She knows that.
いやー、まあどっちに言ったって、レリアナさんには響かないような気がするんですけどね。まあまあ、せめてもしょうがないよ。
You have to let it go. Let her go. You don't owe her anything anymore.
This? Now? After everything you've said and done? After Haven, we agreed that war requires sacrifices. Whatever it takes, you said. And my poor dear Natalie. I called her sister once, but I couldn't risk leaving her alive. Don't tell me to let it all go after all I've sacrificed to get here. Justinia tried to save me, but all it's done is made me realize I don't need saving. There is work to be done. I'll see you back at Skyhold.
かんな、レリアナさんと仲良くなれないな。いやでもナタリー、って感じですよね。このゲームの怖いところは、ああいうところで、逃がしちゃうと、後で実際に襲ってきて、で、結局またやっつけるみたいな話になるんですよね。それだったらもう今ここでと思って、ああいう選択肢を選んだんですが、難しいですね。なんて言うんだろう。私が、自身がこう、できればレリアナさんとか、ジョゼフィーヌさんとか、カサンドラさんとか、セラちゃんとかとは仲良くしたいので、彼女たちが喜びそうな選択肢を選ぶんですけど、3周してまだ、彼女たちが何を考えてるかいまいちよく分かってないので答えがブレるから怒られたんでしょうね。一般的ななんて言うんでしょう、間違ってもギャルゲー的な選択肢を選んでも彼女たちは喜ばないですからね。ギャルゲーはそんなやらないんですけど、正論っぽいことを言っててもダメだし、正論こういうことをやっぱり彼女たちも言う時もあるしみたいな。ややこしい。
Grand Cleric Vitois is scrambling after the loss of her agent.
Good. Her support base is in Morale. Tear it down. Grand Cleric Victoire wishes to make an enemy of the Inquisition. I'll give her what she wants. Doesn't Victoire have a young cousin? Lord Firmin? She dotes on him.
Yes, mistress. I believe that is so.
Good. Have him collected. He shall be an honored guest, and make sure the Grand Cleric hears about it.
At your command.
Is everything under control?
Perfect. The Grand Cleric and others like her will fall in line soon enough. You see, when I'm ruthless, it gets us where we need to be. It's something to be proud of. Why fix it? How funny that her regret is what finally puts my own to rest. I chose to become her left hand, knowing what it meant. It was my weakness that stopped me from fully committing to my task.
それは弱さじゃないっていうのが私の第一感なんですけど、まあまあ。
You have a good heart. It's not a weakness.
You are too kind, Inquisitor. Call it what it is. The Inquisition needs me just as the Divine did, to do what no one else dares. Death and deception are my trade. It is what I am. It is what I always will be.
いやー、なんともかんともですよね。まあ実際レリアナさんがいないと審問会は回っていかないし、ジョゼフィーニもそういう存在ですよね。そのためには、まあ、レリアナさんが今言ったように、こう、全てを欺くような人じゃないと、レリアナさんの仕事は務まらない。
Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're always looking for some way to benefit, aren't you?
It's what I'm here for. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
これはまあいいかな。
I'll leave you to your work.
あれちょっと待って。あ、違うわ。違う。インナーサークルかな。レリアナのアサシンを送り込むってのはどこで送り込むの？レリアナさんと話すんじゃないのかな。
They tell me you have
どこ立ってんの？
They flatter me. I can only do my best and hope it is enough.
For the Inquisition to succeed, its leader must be willing to do what it takes. As your spy master, may I say that I am pleased. My agents appreciate that they can look at the Herald and see themselves. Have I ever talked about my friend Zevran? He was an Antivan crow. He wasn't always good at it. We only met because he failed to kill a mark, but he made me laugh.
Anything I should know?
Celine has cemented power in Orlais. Good, we need an ally like her. At the moment, she's said to be rooting out the last of Gaspard's supporters. Once that is done, we will have a united Orlais behind the Inquisition.
Anything I should know?
It seems that the Orlesian army is awaiting our next move. Some of the generals are sympathetic to our cause, others are still suspicious. Our actions are under a great deal of scrutiny.
新情報いっぱいあるね。
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. That is something at least.
OK。
I'll leave you to your work.
そうこのレリアナさんと喋ればこのオプションが満たせると思ったんですが、そうではないみたいなので、もう1時間に実況がなるんですが、ジョゼフィーヌと話しに行って、その後をこなして終わりにしましょうかね。
Any news on the House of Repose, Inquisitor?
Are you sure the House of Repose will forget this assassin contract on a farmer's signature?
It's perfectly legal. In Valroyo's noble circles, a written word is a bond. Besides, the guild would never risk being so unspeakably crass.
Why did the Duparaquets hate the Montiliers so much they set up a permanent assassination watch?
A Montilier and a Duparaquet fell in love. A young couple, pledged elsewhere, attempted to elope. The whole thing ended so violently, it's a wonder any survived. It's fortunate the Duparaquet's descendants hold no grudges.
なるほ
What if the Duparakets refuse to aid you?
I've already contacted the Duparakets, Inquisitor. They're ready to help us. It will be a long road, but a lordship is a chance to restore a proud lineage to their heirs. Besides, I've promised them a heavy bag of coin once this is over.
You said I'd have to do some favors in Val Royeaux if we want to make the Duparakets lords.
The Countess Dion is our first step. Her lover, a mage from the White Spire, is missing. Bring her news of him and she'll be very amenable to sponsoring the Duparakets as lords.
ど。はあ。長いんだな。ちょっと戦略テーブルまで行きましょう。そこで今日はおしまいかな、さすがに。あ、もうあれなのね。毎回モリガンさん来るようになったのね。まあいいけど。進行中。
What happened in Adamant is a shame.
I'm still reeling over the army of demons. Imagine what would have happened if the Inquisitor hadn't arrived.
オーデンを探しだけじゃなくて、その何？じゃないよね。あ、これ。おう、あ、いいのか。彼ができる
To
の。
work?
報酬の受け取りはまあとりあえずいいか。まあこれが終わらないと進まないでしょうから、多分数分ぐらいだと思うんですが、まあさすがに1時間超えましたので、今回の実況配信はここまでにしたいと思います。まあ次回ね、この続きからやっていきたいと思います。最後まで聞いてくださった方、ありがとうございました。網山でした。お疲れ様でした。